We have confirmation from Molly Elmore, digital asset and tokenization professional, chief marketing officer of Valhill Capital, that Tether is crooked, that they have taken a deal, and that they will become the new FTX, which is doomed to fail. This information is relevant to the news that we have today. Listen with great attention. It has been utilized by the banking cartel for the past couple of years in order to move money into and out of the United States in a manner that is not in compliance with the legal framework. The reason that Tether is never actually in trouble is because regardless of what they do, they are unable to be taken out of the game. The reason that they appear to receive this level of security that no one else does, and as well as the fact that nobody appears to work at Tether, is a fascinating mystery. It seems as if there was a CEO who was never physically there, and the Chief Technology Officer Paolo Ardino or someone similar has now taken over the function of CEO. The BitBoy even traveled all the way to the Bahamas, and when they arrived there, they glanced at the parking lot and saw that there were only 2 parking spots. Is that correct? Oh, that's another thing. They're offshore, and no one seems to care about that. This is a financial technology that is worth billions, if not multiple billions of dollars. If you think about it, there are hundreds and hundreds of people working at Ripple, but there are only 3 or 4 people working at Tether, and we don't really know anything about them. I mean, think about it. FTX is a good example of this because it appears to be a cover for something else, and the individuals who are actually carrying out the work are not publishing this information on their LinkedIn profile or any other platform. So Tether, I believe that we will find out the truth one day, and I believe that they are protected until the time when a flip the switch black swan event occurs, which means that Tether is taken out of circulation, it crashes, and then the Phoenix emerges with the new payment system that is in line with the problem reaction solution that they have been putting in place. The flip the switch black swan is not a question of if, when, or when. I have confirmation from the elites of the globe, including the International Monetary Fund and the Bank for International Settlements, that XRP has been given the go-ahead to take the place of Tether when the moment comes. Any ambitious reform of the SDR should incorporate the private use of this global currency, which is classified as a global currency, according to this post from Smoke here from the International Monetary Fund. A worldwide cryptocurrency that may be circulated between central banks, the new SDR would be denominated in commodities and would be a virtual version of the state-owned currency. And it's not just that the International Monetary Fund IMF has confirmed that this new SDR would be used by more than just the governments and central banks of the globe, it will also be utilized by private sectors, private enterprises like Ripple, for example. And they've also stated that this new virtual SDR will be a worldwide cryptocurrency. For the purpose of leveling the playing field, they are genuinely talking about the deployment of a single global currency, which will have an effect on every single human being on the planet. This is extremely significant news. Yes, you read that correctly. This is not a hoax. It is genuine and will be arriving very, very soon. It is a new currency that the world deserves. And spoiler alert, it is highly likely that this new world-deserved currency will be Ripple with XRP. This is not only due to the fact that they have deeply ingrained connections and partnerships with the governments and central banks of the world, but also because Marcus Infranca, who confirmed that the next big step is happening with Ripple, has stated that this is the case. On the subject of tokenization, they have finally arrived at Ripple with actual use cases organized. Yesterday at FT Crypto, he outlined the reasons why it won't be too much longer. Before banks are prepared to implement blockchain technology on a widespread scale. It is very important news. Just a few days ago, I had a conversation with the Director General of the BIF, Augustine Carson, regarding the relevance of tokenization. He used the phrase, "small steps and giant leaps." It is necessary for me to make a leap of faith in order to realize the potential of tokenization. It is necessary for us to bring together the various tokens, which include commercial money, money issued by central banks, and digital assets such as cryptocurrencies such as XRP, as well as the reasoning that governs their application. Tokens, when utilized appropriately, have the potential to improve the speed of financial transactions, reduce the costs involved, and boost the efficiency of the process. It is necessary for me to make a leap of faith in order to realize the potential of tokenization. It is necessary for us to bring together the many types of tokens, including money from commercial banks, money from central banks, and tokens based on various assets. The platforms that allow for this to take place are known as unified ledgers. When all of these distinct tokens are brought together on the same programmable platforms, it will be possible to include additional functionalities such as composability and smart contracts. The entire globe is currently preparing for a massive event. Through the implementation of their new stablecoin in particular, the adoption of blockchain technology for the tokenization of XRP and Ripple's cryptocurrency will result in the replacement of Tether and their corruption. Ripple recently stated yesterday that it is projected that the stablecoin market might reach $3 trillion by the year 2028, which is 3 to 4 years from now and is not too far off. Additionally, with Ripple's lawsuit quickly approaching its conclusion, the adoption of XRP in the United States in particular is going to go through a period of exponential growth. The fact that the Federal Reserve is literally authoring papers about financial literacy, risk tolerance, and cryptocurrency ownership in the United States is evidence that Bitcoin is not going anywhere anytime soon. Furthermore, the developments that have taken place outside of the United States and all around the world represent an even stronger green light for the takeover of XRP. In the meantime, outside of the United States, you have the implementation of digital asset frameworks from the Qatar Finance Central Authority pay special attention to this. Here, we can observe from 707 Crypto. It seems to me that the majority of the laws that we are seeing would be primarily focused on aspects of financial services, and looking into whether or not they would be covered by securities or banking legislation would be ideal. On the other hand, we do not want to mistreat some use cases and service providers by placing them in the section of the financial sector that is subject to regulation when, for instance, they are only infrastructure providers who should not be subject to regulation. The possibility exists that they are subject to an outsourcing agreement, or that they have some digital operation resilience feature that they are required to consider. An act. During the Dubai FinTech Summit 2024, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse made the following statement: "I really do think that if we look 10 or 20 years into the future, Dubai will be viewed as one of the financial capitals of the world." He made this statement in reference to the fact that XRP decreases here. Both of these clips are huge news because Ripple is deeply connected and ingrained to both of them across the world, and in the long term, as Brad Garlinghouse stated, 10 or 20 years, when Dubai becomes one of the financial capitals of the globe, XRP's price by then, in my opinion, will be worth thousands of dollars. Not financial advice, of course, but XRP's adoption and price is going to explode, in my opinion. But the reason why XRP is so inexpensive right now is because, first and foremost, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), but also, and this is the most crucial reason, banks are not permitted to use public ledgers at this time. According to what we can hear in this video, that is the time when we will begin to witness major adoption all over the world, and as a result, the price of XRP will skyrocket. A private blockchain is the approach that JP Morgan has taken, as we have seen. Take, for instance, the decision that was made. What is the procedure for selecting public versus private options? It would appear that banks are subject to a variety of. We are subject to CC laws because we are registered as a transfer agent with the SEC and a broker-dealer. This means that we are subject to more stringent requirements than asset managers. The OCC is currently suggesting that banks in the United States refrain from using public blockchains as a form of underlying financial service infrastructure. Banks are subject to all of the rules that are imposed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. We are not subject to the same kinds of limits, and I am of the opinion that public blockchains are the place where innovation will take place. This is due to the fact that public blockchains have the capacity to do a variety of tasks on top of them, among other things. If you are interested in understanding the difference, it is comparable to the time when the internet was first introduced and companies like American Online and MSN were shut down. After that, there was the public internet, and the public internet is where innovation took place. Didn't you think? Due to the fact that it is possible for anyone to construct stuff on top of what someone else is constructing, right? Because of this, I believe that public blockchains are where the future lies and where innovation will take place in the extended future. Furthermore, it is sad that banks are subject to limits, and despite this, they continue to strive to be inventive, just as JP Morgan with Onyx, but they are restricted by the regulations that govern their operations. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I hope to see you in the next one.